Hi everyone. I'm going to give it a few seconds so that I can see if anybody has logged on, and then we will talk about cracking the nighttime noshing or munching at night. So, cracking the nighttime noshing or munching at night, which is making a lot of people gain weight. So we're trying to maximize our life with eating and drinking, and I do mean drinking water. 6 surefire ways to stop snacking at night. Okay. Number 1, drink lots of water. Water is nature's great hunger suppressant. One reason you might be heading to the kitchen late at night is that you may think that you're hungry, but you're really just thirsty. So drink water before anything else, and that might keep you from running to the kitchen. Dehydration can cause night cravings, so always have a glass of water next to you. I keep this big deal next to me, next to my bed, next to my table when I'm reading. I drink water all day in the car. Your body's made up of 60 to 70% fluid, so it's so important for your body to be hydrated. And I used to have a client who was an emergency room surgeon, and he told me that 99% of the people that come into the ER are dehydrated. This is why they immediately put an IV in your arm to get you hydrated so that they can work on you. And obviously, some of these people have lost blood. So anyway, water is so important. I tell my clients to put a gallon of water in their refrigerator at night and then finish it the next day. Finish it up. That way you're always going to feel hydrated. Now, if water doesn't do the trick, sip on peppermint tea. I don't know if you can see this. Peppermint tea. That usually does the trick as well. Peppermint, if you're craving a huge piece of chocolate cake at night, right before bed, brew some peppermint tea. According to science, merely sipping the peppermint tea reduces cravings for sugar and fatty food. Also, a unique study done by Wheeling University showed that just inhaling the scent of peppermint every 2 hours can cause people to eat fewer calories as well. Other benefits of peppermint tea include faster digestion, rids some of the questionable breath that you may have, and if you become irritated, it will calm you down in just a matter of minutes. So that's number 2. Number 3, stop buying your favorite snacks at the grocery store. The next time you're up at night and you can't sleep, you happen to know that you have something yummy in your kitchen, in the refrigerator, or the pantry, it's tempting for you to get out of bed and go get it. So just try not to buy it in the first place. Let's face it, having unhealthy snacks in the kitchen is just a way to sabotage yourself. So the next time you start craving food in those late night hours, don't buy the chips and candy bars that are stuck in your kitchen. And they'll just lead you straight to the kitchen to start snacking away, and you don't want to do that. Number 4, eat loads of protein during the day. According to research, protein helps curb appetite well and will also keep your nighttime cravings under control. It does this because protein helps stimulate gut hormones, and those hormones play an important role to help you feel fuller a lot longer. So always stock up with a lot of nuts. I munch on these all day. Nuts, beans, whole grains, yogurt, low-fat poultry and fish, as they should do the trick in those hours when your snacking starts to kick in. Number 5, remind yourself that you're not actually hungry, unless you really are. Did you know that hunger is not really an emergency? To eat the first thing that you see, unless it really is. I mean, late night snacking is not really that bad if you are actually hungry, because sometimes your body really needs it. I know sometimes if I'm hungry at night and I haven't had enough, I'll get a headache in the middle of the night and I'll be it's because I'm hungry. So I'll usually take or drink a protein drink because it's liquid and it satisfies me and I feel like I can sleep a little better. But it's good to point out that we have enough energy resources in our bodies to get us through these cravings at night, especially if snacking late at night has turned into a bad habit for you. So if you get into a bad habit, try to retrain your brain, but by telling it you're not really hungry. Read a book, get yourself distracted, listen to some music, do whatever you can to distract yourself. And your mind and body will finally eventually adapt. And there's also lots of ways to do this and change your eating habits. And one of those is intermittent fasting. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But simply changing your focus to something else when those nighttime cravings ensue. Okay, number 6, when all else fails, brush your teeth. Lastly, we know that it's a good idea to eat, not a good idea to eat before bed, but no matter what it is that we consume, whatever it is. And it may sound a little silly, but brushing your teeth after you eat can curb those late night snacking, especially if you brush your teeth and it tells your brain, okay, it's time for bed. It's not time for eat. So, and lots of the toothpaste these days have that minty flavor, and that kind of helps you curb that appetite. And I know that sometimes if I brush my teeth and I'll mindlessly go in the kitchen and grab an orange and start eating it, I think, oh, that doesn't mix well. And that reminds me that I shouldn't have had it. So anyway, plus when you've brushed your teeth, you don't really want to have to go back and brush it again just because you did it already and you didn't want you to go to bed with dirty teeth. So hopefully those 6 tips helped you in figuring out how to curb those late night noshings or cravings. But now I want to talk about intermittent fasting. And I really just wanted to look up the different ways of fasting. I frankly, I'm not an advocate of diets, but this is more of a daily or weekly routine, not really a diet that you eat this, you don't eat that. So I know a lot of you have heard about intermittent fasting, and it's kind of the buzzword right now in the health industry. It usually involves short-term or long-term duration depending on your preference, which requires sustaining from solid foods that last for the better part of the day. Fasting can be one of the simplest ways to lose weight if you can handle not eating solid foods for a period of time. If it's for you, consider a few of these simple do's and don'ts of how intermittent fasting is done the right way. Intermittent fasting is more like a pattern of lifestyle, like I said before, than a form of diet. It's more like something that you do for a long duration, if losing weight is what you need to do. And that's one of the benefits of intermittent fasting, mainly is to lose weight. It improves your overall health. It reduces the risk of chronic health conditions. It improves your brain health. It promotes blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance. So I'm going to talk about the 4 different ways to intermittent fast. And before picking a fasting routine, always check with your doctor before making any significant change to your eating and diet, especially if you're on any kind of medications or you have some kind of chronic condition. But these are the 4 different ways. Number 1, time limited. Choosing a daily meal time of up to 12 hours. So that's 1 meal every 12 hours, and that's it. That's it for that one. Number 2, the 5-to-2 diet, 5-to-2 ratio. 2 days of limited calories of about 500 calories and a healthy portion caloric intake on the remaining 5 days. Normally with the 5-to-2 ratio diet, in the week people separate their days of fasting. So for example, they could fast on Tuesdays and Thursdays and eat normally on the other 5 days. All fasting days should be integrated with one non-fasting day in between with this most preferred way of intermittent fasting. So the next one is called Eat, Stop, Eat diet. Better known as the 24-hour fast, is a 24-hour complete fast from solid foods 1 to 2 times a week For example, fasting from dinner to dinner or from breakfast to breakfast. I'm not really sure the specific differences between that one or the 5-2 diet, but it sounds very similar to me. The last one is the 16 to 8 hour pattern. And this fasting routine involves only consuming food in an 8-hour window and fasting for 16 hours a day, every day of the week for a given amount of time. This way you can go for as long as you like, but it's not safe to really do too long. Like I said before, I'm not really an advocate of diets per se, but I have heard lots of people have had really good results with intermittent fasting. And I personally prefer to eat several meals during the day, small meals, because I think that it's easier on your system when you digest food in small amounts. And it also helps your metabolism kick in, which helps you burn calories at rest. And there's so much more to talk about with this intermittent fasting and also about your metabolism and everything else. But I just wanted to touch on those in case anyone was interested in what that was all about, because I know that it's a big buzzword, but a lot of people don't know what it's about. So that's my information for the evening. And thanks for tuning in. And I hope this has been helpful. Thanks, y'all. Hope to see you soon.